Hey everyone, and welcome. It's another Plim Talks book launch event. I'm here with two troublemakers. They're usually sat apart from each other in classrooms, usually at the front of the room so the teacher can monitor them. I'm here with Brian C. Bradley and Matt
What did you say?
Brandenburg.
What did you say?
What did I say?
Did you say Brian?
Ryan.
Whichever
You
one.
know, I'm actually
Don't
known for
forget.
like mixing up
Yeah.
names, so in my defense, I am just terrible. Ryan C. Bradley. I think it's because I like looked and then I was like, yeah, I'll go Ryan first. And then I read Matt Brandenburg, but my mouth was saying Ryan. So I was like, Ryan.
It, it happened.
It happens. You two are the same in my brain now.
Thank
So
you.
Ryan C. Bradley said that right. Ryan, not Brian. Those are two different people. Do not get them confused. Uh, Brian can actually spell.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, it took you a while for like that sunk in. And Matt Brandenburg. Okay.
Yay.
Official intros. I am here holding a launch event for both of these guys because they have both have our books coming out. I can't talk. Yay. This is why I write it. You, yeah. Do you have yours, Matt?
I do, right here.
Yeah, look at these books. Yeah, this is the edited version, obviously, where I put their
Yeah,
faces on.
it's not the same.
Yeah. If you want this on a t-shirt, just let me know. Just kidding.
I might.
Yeah.
So, let's dive into introduction. So, Matt, will you introduce yourself first?
Yeah, I am Matt. I'm in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and I don't know what to say. I wrote And Out Come the Toys. I have a couple other short stories out and about. I have another book that might be coming out pretty soon. And let's see, I co-host the podcast Staring into the Abyss, and I've been doing that for a little while. And yeah, that's me.
And Ryan, not Brian.
Hey, I'm Ryan, not Brian, like she said. Say Uncle is my newest book. It's my third and a quarter book. I wrote a book with four friends. That's where the quarter comes from. I also wrote
Okay, I was
Saints
gonna
Blood
say
and
that's weird math.
yeah, I also wrote Saints Blood, Bad Connections, which is a story collection, and Dumb Bullshit for Brilliant Idiots with a couple friends. I play guitar too, and I co-host the Horror Hangover podcast.
Oh, so we're all podcasters then. That's kind of interesting. I
Yeah,
don't think I knew that
fancy.
about you, Ryan. Yeah. What are your podcasts about? Ryan, do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Oh,
So Horror Hangover, I co-host with Cass Clark. We're on a hiatus because they just had a baby. But we take a
Oh,
horror trope.
congrats. You look great for having a
yeah,
yeah.
you did. You
But Cass had the baby. Cass is
Oh,
in
oh,
Boston, and I'm in
I thought
Boston.
you
We're
had
not.
the baby.
No, I do
yeah.
not have. I have a 3-year-old, and she's
Okay.
screaming because I'm on the TV downstairs. She keeps yelling, "Hi, Daddy!" But I cannot hear her. So
Oh,
uh,
hello, small
but yeah,
child.
Yeah, hello. My
Oh
family.
no, then we
I
really
say,
gotta keep this. Why didn't you tell me a child was watching this? I
Oh,
feel like
it's
you're
fine.
setting me
She's
up
not
to
going
get
to
in
remember any of this.
trouble.
oh, it's not
She's
gonna
not
be
going to remember
you.
any of this. Uh, but a horror hangover, we take a horror trope like we did an episode on animal attacks, and we talk about like current movie that does it well and a like a kind of indie darling that does it well, and we talk about like a big one. So for animal attacks, the focus was Cujo and the
Nice.
birds.
Very cool. Um,
And yeah, Matt.
First, I actually read your Dumb Bullshit for Brilliant Idiots,
Okay,
and it's excellent. So people, you
thank
should pick
you.
it up. There's some great stories in there. And I recognize your Hook story from the other year. So anyway,
Oh,
uh, Staring into the Abyss, we you basically we take a story or a novel and we just discuss it. So it's just kind of like a book club. We'll usually get authors on, then have them usually we have them pick a story out and read it, and then we talk about why they like it or not like it. We're open to anything. So if it's a really terrible story, we are probably going to make fun of it, but in a nice way.
In
We're
a
not gonna.
nice way. That's what bullies say.
yeah.
No, but like you
You're
gotta
a
have.
bully.
Hey, not everyone has the same tastes, and so, but usually the book is something that probably everyone hates, so it works. But yeah, usually it's just that, and we try to get newer writers on and have them discuss what they're doing and what they have coming out, and yeah, it's usually pretty fun.
Perfect.
How many swirlies have you given since the podcast started?
That's a good question, honestly. That's an important
How many
question.
have I given or how many have I received? Because those are two different numbers.
Can we hear both?
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So it happens. I would
Do
say
you
5.
though? Do you? Do you?
Maybe.
All right. Well, when are your books out? Because they're not out yet.
No.
I
You
feel
want
like
to
we
go?
decided to do this because they're both out April 29th.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
nice.
realized we have the
Twinning.
same release date.
Same
We're like,
birth
we have to
date.
do something together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
So yeah, it's yeah, April 29th. You can see it for and out come the toys. It's every I mean I know the Ghoulish one will be everywhere too, but it's everywhere you can find it. So if you want to avoid Amazon, you can avoid Amazon.
Yeah. And I did put the link in chat to both authors' websites and a link to the books that they've written, so you can check that out and pre-order. But wait till the end because we are doing giveaways, of course. So you have a chance to win a copy of one or the other, or the big giveaway, which is you win a signed copy of both.
Oh,
Yes,
I hope I win.
me too.
Are we eligible to win?
Oh, we're not. Dang it.
Are we? I don't think we are. We shouldn't be. But I want to win Matt's book.
Let's Okay, let's
Looks
dive
really
into
good.
the interview then, and then right
Okay.
after we'll do a giveaway. All right. So I'm gonna ask general questions and we'll just go back and forth, okay? And beautiful audience, you will have a chance to grill these author yourselves at the end. So have those really spicy questions at the ready. You know, everything's okay to ask. And mom, I wasn't kidding about sharing an embarrassing story. Just put it in chat and I'll read it out loud.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, yeah. Just make it up even, you know.
Just-
We'll believe you.
Yeah.
Okay, so first, let's start at the beginning and talk about both of your writing journal or journeys, like how you got into writing, what made you really passionate, why you chose horror, you know, like the standard stuff everybody asks. You guys are
Yeah.
podcasters, y'all know. So
Wait, wait, wait.
we'll start with Matt, who won't stop giggling.
I can't help it. You're just making me laugh.
I'm so funny.
So I don't know. Like it was probably I couldn't give you a date, but I just you always have these stories in your head, and I always ever since I was a kid, I just made up stories and everything like that, and just I well, okay, this will be kind of funny is I used to listen to Kevin Smith's podcast all the time. And he had talked at one point just about doing your whatever it is you want to do, just do it. He's like, there's no point in waiting. And I was like, oh, what genius advice I had never heard before. I'm gonna take it. And so that's what I did. I just started writing. And like everyone, it takes a while to like work through how to do everything like that. And then eventually well, I still haven't figured it out. I don't know if anyone's figured it out, but I got better. Horror is just always something I always dug. I think I think it's fun and it's great. And like I could give a really crazy idea of just like I I love fantasy too, but I think with horror it goes into some more darker places, which I enjoy, but also like it still has that at least it can still have that depth that fantasy has, and it's just I don't know, it's fun to explore the weird and wacky and crazy stuff and throw lots of blood and other gross things in there. So
Yeah.
hopefully that
We love the
helps.
Gooshies. Yeah, we
We
love the
do love the
Gooshies.
Gooshies,
Yeah.
yes.
Ryan, not Brian.
This is gonna sound so dumb, and every time I tell this story, it sounds dumber to me.
Okay,
But I
we're
was
prepared.
a musician for a long time. I was playing
Oh,
guitar. I really
just
wanted
kidding.
Yeah, what?
I really
Ugh.
wanted to go to
God.
music school. And I was playing rock guitar, and there's only like one music school in the country that does that, the LA Guitar Institute. I didn't want to apply there, so I was like, I'll learn to play jazz guitar in the next year. And so I spent like 3 hours a day practicing, like listening to
Holy
jazz like
crap.
immersively. This was like when FYE was, I guess FYE is still there. I found out like a month ago,
Yeah,
but I
it's
thought
still
FYE
around.
was closing for good. And I would just like raid their clearance section for jazz albums. I would listen to them all and learn all the songs. I did all of this for like 9 months, and I just got rejected completely from music school because the people who get in are people who are like have been going to jazz camp with the professors at these schools since they were 12.
Oh my
and I
God.
had to like, I thought I had to pick like a different course in life, and I was like, what would be the logical thing to do, like the responsible thing to do? And I was like, oh, I'll be a writer instead.
And a horror writer
It's
at
like a
that. That was
Yeah.
such a smart
incredibly
move. Yeah.
stupid.
Genius ideas.
So I wrote horror for like a year or so, or I guess like a summer. Then I got into college and I was like, I'm going to study creative writing because that's what I want to do. And I had to write literary fiction for a long time.
Oof.
And then I had a year off between
Ouch.
college and grad school. I worked at a grocery store and I was like, um, I was working at a grocery store. I was like, this cannot be my life. So I got an MFA where I was also writing literary fiction the whole time. By the end of that, I was like, I don't want to write really realistic, sad stories about divorce. And I really like horror, and I've always
That's
liked
really
horror.
specific. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that all? Was that all they had
Um,
you do in the MFA program? Was write about divorce?
It was
no,
like
no,
divorce
you
writing
could write whatever you
101.
wanted as long as it wasn't genre fiction. That was the only thing you couldn't do.
Okay.
What the
So I
fuck?
wrote a lot of like Karen Russell kind of stuff where it was like, but yeah, and I that was like 2016. I finished, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna fully dedicate myself to horror, which is what I wanted to do in 2008 in the first place. And here I am.
Nice.
I got a minor in creative writing, and yeah, my classes hated genre. I was the only genre writer, and they just shat on me all the time.
Yeah.
That
Like,
sucks.
I remember I wrote this, it was like how to survive the zombie apocalypse book. I wrote like one based on my city, just for fun,
Nice.
for an assignment. And she was like, I feel like you're being insensitive to people with AIDS. And I was like, I'm confused. And she was like,
Yeah.
this is obviously based on people with AIDS because they're spreading it by like scratching and biting. I was like, I don't think you understand how AIDS works.
Yeah.
Like, because
What?
that's not how it spreads. Like,
Oh
It's
my
like
God.
rabies. It's the disease she was thinking of.
Rabies.
Rabies is a disease that spreads through scratching and biting, and
yeah.
Yeah.
also notably kills people pretty bad before they can scratch or bite people most
Yeah.
of the
So,
time.
yeah, it was a bad experience. It turned me off of writing for like a while, actually. I was like, these people are
Uh,
terrible.
that's wild.
Yeah. Okay, so can you tell us about your upcoming book, as spoiler-free as possible, because obviously they're not out yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, just spoiler-free and inspirations that may lie behind them. We'll start with Ryan, not Brian, this time.
Yeah. So say Uncle is about a 15-year-old boy. His uncle comes to live with him when his uncle's getting separated and takes his bedroom. The boy's trying to have the best year of his life. Braden's his name, and he realizes he left his favorite porno magazine up in his bedroom where his uncle's staying. So he sneaks back in, he has to steal it, and he finds that there's a grimoire bound in human flesh along next to his nudie magazine. He's kind of figure out like what's going on, why does my uncle have this, and kind of goes on from this kind of coming age story.
Is this based on a real life experience you had?
Oh, sorry. No, no, no. My uncle never came to live with me.
But and you
Never
didn't have
had
nudie magazines under your bed.
black magic
Yeah.
book.
Okay, you're
I
avoiding the
did have a
question.
favorite nudie magazine that I thought
Knew
about
it.
as I wrote this story.
I knew it.
Fond
Your
memories.
mom knew it too. She found it while she was cleaning the
She
room.
knew
She knew.
it.
Yeah. She's found
I
it
think by the
before.
time I
She
was out of college, we were all on the same page about the nudie magazine situation.
nudie magazines
I'm
are
sure my
like
mom's like so
so
glad this is how she's spending her Holy Saturday.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
so
This is
sorry, mom.
this is perfect.
I just feel like nudie magazines are kind of like of the past. Like,
Yeah.
are you
Yeah.
younger than me?
Yeah.
And you just had
The
one?
book is set in 2005 when I was 15,
No, okay,
which
but
makes
like
it
that,
historical fiction technically.
yeah.
It does.
Okay, what were your
It
real
does. Yeah, but
inspirations behind your
2005 was like,
It's like how 90s fiction is like historical now.
I know, it's crazy.
It's wild. Okay, what were your inspirations, if not your own uncle and your nudie
Your own
magazine?
uncle.
Hmm.
it's weird because I think it's like a funny book, but I watched HBO's Chernobyl and like I finished watching the last episode and I was so deeply upset. I went home and started writing this book. And I think the book, like Max has described it, my publisher, as like one of the most fun books they've ever read. But the whole time I was writing it, I was just thinking about like the cone of silence as
Oh,
portrayed in Chernobyl. And like how that relates to toxic masculinity.
That is a
Fair.
wild
Like big
ride.
things that I was like working with.
Of all
Yeah,
the
but
things
people say
for
it's a
you to
very fun
say,
book.
yeah, for all the things for you to say what inspired you, I was not expecting Chernobyl.
I was not either. I read it. I read this
Yeah,
book,
you
but
didn't
I
think
like
Chernobyl?
I
You
did
know, you weren't like,
not. It's like, oh yeah, but I could see
All
the
the
color.
clues were there.
All the
yeah,
clues were there. I just need to dig deeper. One more
yeah,
layer.
you got to
One
reread
more
it.
layer.
Okay,
It just
Matt, what about,
blossoms
oh,
open.
yeah,
Oh
Matt, what
yeah.
about yours?
Yeah, so and out come the toys is well, I'll say what it's inspired by first because that'll help with the explanation. It's very much inspired by Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, which was like my favorite. I mean, probably still is one of my favorite movies, but definitely as a kid I watched that probably way too many times. Um, and then talking about historical 1990s, there's a lot of 90s punk bands in here, hence the title for anyone who doesn't know. There's a very famous Rancid album called And Out Come the Wolves, and I just thought it'd be funny to steal that title for my book. But surprisingly, Rancid is not in this book. That's not a spoiler, that's just fact. Um, but yeah, so those are my two main inspirations, and basically what it is about a toy factory, Challis Toy Factory, and it also held a contest for 5 lucky winners, and those lucky winners did get to go and explore the toy factory, but they never came out. We jump ahead 10 years later, and there's 5 punk kids who basically all about 3 of them are leaving town forever. And so for one last night of fun, they decide to explore the factory and discover that it is still a magical place, but with lots of murder and grossness. So
Nice. So like
yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's, really.
Well, some people have told me that, and I was
Yeah,
like, sure, that will help it sell. It's
yeah.
like Five Nights at Freddy's.
So, how do you feel about Uncle Joe?
Uncle. Well, Grandpa Joe. I think
Oh,
Grandpa's.
yeah, whoever.
I knew
Grandpa
you were talking
Joe.
about.
Yeah,
He was. You know what? He was faking it the whole time. If he could jump
absolutely.
up
What an
so
asshole.
fast, yeah, he was. It was just a free meal. Poor Charlie had to spend his money on tobacco for this old guy.
Hmm.
He's taking up space in that one little bed all 4 of them were
Yeah,
sleeping in. He knew what was up. He figured
yeah.
out.
And you know his farts were probably rancid.
I bet that bed was probably very
Absolutely.
rank.
Yeah. All right. What was your
Do you think they'd
favorite?
at
Oh,
least
what?
flip the mattress once in a while?
No, I
No,
don't
Like
he would
because
never get out of bed.
yeah, flip the mattress once in a while.
just rotate it with them
It
still
would,
in
yeah.
bed, just so they can
You
have
need to
different
rotate it under
perspective.
them.
All right, Grandpa Joe and Grandpa whatever your name is, we're rotating the bed. Yay, get to look at this wall now.
Did we ever find out like why they were just in the bed all the time?
I think they just gave up on life.
Yeah,
That was
fair.
about it. Because I honestly we have no idea. They're just maybe they I don't know.
Yeah,
It was
that's
the
fair.
cabbage soup. It poisoned them.
They were rotting in bed before it became
Oh
cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
before it came cool.
yeah. All right. So now I want to hear what was your favorite part about writing your book?
Oh,
We'll start with Matt. Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, I just assumed. It's
Yeah,
like,
you
oh,
just
let me
jumped right in.
talk.
Go ahead then.
Yeah.
Go on.
Um, I don't know. I think what was fun was like while I was writing this, I did not watch Willy Wonka. So I think the fun part was imagining all the parts in my head and because like a lot of this is like there's enough hints in there, I think, to call back to that. But anyway, it was just fun to kind of like imagine in my head different things and then just come up with crazy toys because I didn't want to make any real toys, so all the toys are just made up stuff. That was fun.
Ryan.
When I read Outcome the Toys, I thought all the bands were made up too. You're telling me the toys are made up, but the bands are real?
The bands
Yeah,
are
I
all
don't
real.
listen to punk, so it's like
Those are all
the
real
bands are all real.
bands.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I think my favorite part of writing, say, Uncle was Braden has a best friend named Joel, and I really loved writing the dialogue between them. I think they're totally gross and awful to each other,
Oh
but I
yeah.
think they're like totally gross and awful the way 15-year-old boys are gross and awful to each other. And I don't know, I just had a lot of fun writing that stuff.
Nice. Did you two like experience any difficulties writing, like any hard parts or, challenges? Matt, you were just full of little
Uh,
giggles. You're a
well,
little
just
giggle.
you are it's just cracking me up.
Why? What is so
Well,
funny about that question?
like I don't know, Brian, you can go first, and then I'll be good.
Okay. I think with any book, there's definitely like I tend to have a process where like I write about it as much as I can, and then like it took me 5 years to write this, but like I like write about like I write chapters like 3 months. I'm like, ah, fuck, this is terrible. And I just walk away for a while. I'll write something else, then I come back to it. And so I think just like that process means everything takes forever, and like the weirdness of the book finished probably like 2022, and it's 2025. So I think it's hard even now to like remember what like the hardest parts were in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But it just takes forever to go through like the publishing process.
No,
Oh
that's
yeah.
fair too, yeah.
Seriously. That's why I was laughing, because I could either talk about the publishing process and the journey this book has been on, or the writing part of it. Writing wise, I this had like went through probably like five different concepts. Like the general concept of exploring a giant old like liminal house, because this does take some of that liminal stuff in there because that's the popular word right now. But like I tried so many different times, and I would have a story going and it would be like 30,000 words, and then I just wouldn't know where it was going to go from there. And so then I would stop and I would write something else. And then finally, I think it was during like COVID time, I don't even know where the spark for Willy Wonka came in, but that was kind of the trigger that I was like, oh, when I watch that movie all the time, I always just imagine, and maybe everyone else does too, but like all the stuff that's in that factory that they all go through, I'm like, what does the day after look like, or the day before look like? Is that stuff just there? And like, like,
Is this
like,
normal to have to go
is
through that tunnel every time trying to get to work?
exactly. I'm just like I get the Oompa Loompa thing, whatever, but I'm just like the like cost and the idea of like, oh, I'm working, I'm an office worker and I gotta go, even though we never see the office workers, it's like I'm sure he's got people dealing with all that stuff. I'm like, I gotta go through the stupid candy room again. I hate this place.
It adds 10 minutes to my
It's
commute.
exactly. I got a 10-minute break and 10 minutes of it's through this damn factory. Um so anyway, that was kind of the click, was just like, oh man, what would it be like 10 years from now if like if it shut down and then that like opened it up. Um so yeah, that was the writing journey. The publishing journey has been insane for this crazy book too, but whatever.
All right, shall we jump into our first giveaway?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So this giveaway is for a signed copy of Ryan's book, not Brian's book, which is a different book, which is
Yeah.
Say Ant.
Yeah, it's like laugh ant. I don't know. I'm trying to think what's the opposite of say. Don't speak.
Silent aunt.
Silent. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I'm gonna write that one.
There you
All right,
go.
everyone give me drums in chat or I won't hit my wheel name. Yes, that's right, Francis. You know the drill. I love you. All right, drums as the wheel turns. Hopefully it's a name I can pronounce. Ooh. Oh no. Paige Cifuentes. Cifuentes. Paige, are you here, Paige?
Fuentes.
Fuentes.
Paige is definitely here.
Okay. All right. Congrats on winning, Paige. After the event, I will email everyone and connect you with the authors so that you can give them your shipping address and get your book. Congrats, Paige. I'm sorry if I brutalized your last name. It's just what I do. Yeah, Paige. I struggle to type as well sometimes. All right. So before we go in readings, you guys asked me to put together a quiz.
Oh yeah, we
Are
did.
you ready for that? They do not know the questions to this. The theme is horrifying children slash childhoods in horror. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen.
Are we gonna yell out the answers, or are we like taking turns answering them?
Yell out the answers and then put your answers in chat. And then you can keep track of your points. There's no prizes for this. This is like,
Oh,
whose line is it anyways? It's just for fun.
just for goods.
Just for fun. Don't get silly about it. Or do. Let me make sure it's working correctly. Yeah. Good, good, good. Sometimes you just gotta check, you know?
Yeah, it happens.
Make sure it's in the
No
pretty
prizes
mode.
going to the Toy Factory. There's some pretty sweet toys. I would be pretty happy.
All right, share my screen. For some reason, it's like, yeah, you get to go to the Toy Factory. Congrats, everyone. It's a one-way ticket.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's no golden ticket in this one.
No, it's like a crimson ticket.
Oh,
Okay, does everyone see this?
yes.
All right, so remember, it's going to be multiple choice, so put your answers in chat. Ryan and Matt, just give it like 10 seconds before you shout out your answers.
Okay.
Okay, the first one is a spelling question, just kidding.
Oh God.
Okay.
I knew it.
Yelled by a boy with an overly protective mother, which movie is this quote from? This is battery acid, you slime. The Orphan, Gremlins, It, or The Witches? Get your guesses in chat. I guess I should have done like numbers actually. Just type it in. Just type it in. Or if you do 1 through 4, I think we'll understand. So yeah, type it in.
I
Let's see. Okay, what do you guys think the answer is?
have no clue.
You don't?
It's it.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. Oh my God,
Oh,
it's
it's it for sure.
Yeah, oh my
Although
God,
it would be
Matt.
so funny if that line was in The Orphan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would be. It's an it. I don't remember that.
Well, I thought I saw yeah, Kirsten got it. Congrats, Kirsten. I saw that. Hell yeah.
Yes.
How did you
Awesome.
not know this, Matt?
I, you know,
Okay,
I prepared as much as I could. I watched every childhood movie, but there's a lot, and so my
Yeah.
brain just didn't make it.
man. Okay, next one.
I'll be better this time.
A little girl is adopted and loves neck ribbons. Where is this murderous child from?
Oh,
Poltergeist, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Orphan, or The Omen? Yeah,
I do know this one.
good. Let's see. All right, what's the answer?
It's Orphan.
Orphan.
Yeah, Orphan. And she's actually like 18 or something.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I forget.
She's
But
like
she's like an
30.
adult.
She's
Yeah, she's like an
an
adult,
adult, yeah.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah. I think she's like 34 or something.
Yeah. So weird. Kids
Like,
form
what-
a corn cult.
What?
It's the band Korn
Kids
with a
form
K.
a corn cult.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I don't know this one.
Silent Hill, Children of the Corn, Let Me In, or the others. Yeah.
Is there a none of the above?
What do we look like to you?
I love that so
Okay,
much.
what's the answer?
I think it might be Children of the Corn.
Yeah, this one was obvious. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of had the answer in the question.
Yeah. Yeah, chat's acing this.
W's in the chat. Yes.
Yep. A kid won't stop spirit walking and brings a
Oh.
ton of trouble for his
Oh.
family.
I think I know
Pet
this one too.
Cemetery, They, Dark Water, or Insidious?
Oh,
Zach
snap.
got that before the
Yeah,
the
team.
answers on the screen.
Shooting from the hip, legit.
You know what's all right. Well, I'll let everyone answer, and then I'm going to explain why my answer is correct.
Okay. What's your answer and why is it correct?
Pet Cemetery.
That was my red herring, but he's not sleepwalking.
Well, maybe.
He's dead walking.
Yeah, he's not spirit walking. His soul is gone. That's why he's evil.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the
He's-
opposite. Yeah,
Roadkill
roadkill.
walk.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
exactly.
I love it so much.
Okay, next one. Sometimes you just give birth to a bad egg or a whole town of them.
Oh.
We need to talk about Kevin, Alice Sweet Alice, Village of the Damned, or Phone.
Oh. I know this one.
I mean, you're not coming back from the fact you didn't know it.
You know.
That's all I'm
Sometimes.
saying. Oh, okay. Let's see. Kirsten
Yeah.
doesn't know this one. This one's an older one. Or was there a remake?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I I think
Okay,
there was a remake in the 80s.
Yeah.
I don't know if that counts anymore if it was the 80s.
Yeah, that one's like
I guess
past
it's still an
historic.
old one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what's the answer?
Do you want me to say it?
Village,
Yeah.
Village, Village of the Village of the Damned.
Yeah, they're all like white-haired children too. Can't trust
I think,
them.
yeah. I think it's actually the scariest part is they're British the whole movie.
Yeah. Okay, what to
That's
do
it.
with bad kids? Make them fight it out. Pokemon, One Missed Call, The Doll Master, or Battle Royale?
Oh, come
This one's
on,
a fun
duh.
one. It's obviously Pokemon.
I mean,
But I think you get half credit. The person who guessed Hunger Games.
I didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hunger Games is a good one. Yeah.
Lord of the Flies is a good one too.
Yeah. Ryan, which one is it?
Battle Royale.
Yeah. So this actually inspired Hunger Games, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's like the same kind of thing. It's an
it's
old
great.
Japanese movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, it's about the teens in Japan are becoming like hoodlums, and so they decide they need to like kill off the population. So randomly lotteries are selected, and the entire class has to go to an island and fight the other class to death.
Yeah.
And only
There's
one person remains.
which, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's a good one. But Pokemon, man, I swear Pokemon could be. Those kids battle each
Yeah.
other.
That was my red herring. Yeah. Okay, kids get fucked up when they move to a new house. The Amityville Horror, Poltergeist,
Hmm.
Sinister, all of the above.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, what's the answer, Matt?
You think I'm gonna say all the above.
Yeah, they all move to a new house and get fucked up. Amityville Horror speaks for itself. Poltergeist on the burial ground. Sinister because that kid won't stop walking,
Yeah,
won't stop
spirit
walking.
walking. All that spirit walking.
Oh, that's not the dead walking. That's different. Yay! I hope that was fun.
It was fun.
I think the best way to like describe my questions were like poorly described movies.
Yes. And I had poorly described answers, so it works.
The kids
It
get
was
fucked up when they move to a new house. There's so many movies in that like specific
True.
niche too.
It's a good one.
Moving is scary.
Yeah. Kristen says I like poorly described trivia questions personally. Thank you. Kids in a fucked up new house. Name a more iconic duo. Exactly, Francis. Maybe kids on bikes solving crimes would be the second one. I
Yeah.
think so. That's in like
And
everything. All right, so it's time for the readings. Um, more Pokemon questions next time.
the
So
horror of being
Ryan,
in a Pokeball.
do you want to go first?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to read chapters 4 and 5 of Say Uncle.
Okay.
Like I mentioned, it's a historical novel. So these all start with AOL Instant Message away messages. So, chapter 4, away message, Bray Day 327. Maybe this will be the best summer ever. Can't say anything yet, but heart. Uncle Polly could lug the air conditioner up the stairs by himself, but he needed me to hold the window open. A centerfold of Jimi Hendrix playing at Woodstock, clipped from a music magazine, was taped to one wall, and a Kiss tapestry I bought at a state fair hung on another. My room was the smallest in the house, with a slim space to walk in between the dresser, bed, closet, and an antique desk where I'd hid my penthouse that opened upward. Uncle Polly had draped yesterday's shirt over the desk, so he probably hadn't put anything inside it. The shirt answered another question as well. It must be where the mossy smell had come from last night. After we'd gotten the air conditioner installed, I took some of my clothes to hang in the sections Mom had cleared for me in Sam's closet. Later that day, Dad brought some plastic drawers for me to empty my dresser into. When I'd finished, I'd walk up to the hill to my friend Joel's house. His name was pronounced the Spanish way, Joel. He broke his wrist falling over the handlebars of his bike the month before. He was obsessed with the song Handlebars, and every time he sang about being able to ride a bike with no handlebars, I said, "No, you can't," and pointed to the cast around his wrist. "What's good, dude?" he said when we opened the door. He lived with his mom and grandparents. He was my height and about 100 pounds heavier and built like a Mack truck from lifting boxes of apples at a shop and stop. He was half Puerto Rican and looked it, while I was a quarter Mexican but looked mayonnaise white. That was at least part of why we were friends. Life's been crazy. You remember my Uncle Polly? He's the big one, kind of an asshole. That's him. He moved into my house. I got a penthouse hidden in my desk. Just one? He asked. He led me to his room. There was a giant Beatles poster from his weekends and holidays only dad over the bed, and a layer of dirty laundry so thick that you could only tell the floor was hardwood by feel. He fished in between some jeans and tossed me a Playboy. From underneath his shirt, he got a Hustler. He reached under his pillow and handed me an older penthouse. A pair of blonde twins on the cover were frozen the moment before they'd kiss, the model in the front's breast eternally about to pop out of her bra. You look like a missionary standing up there, like Jehovah's about to witness his first titty, Joelle said. I put down the magazine and sat on the corner of the bed. He didn't have any chairs. Where did you get all of these? I asked my mom. What? If I had asked my mother, I'd be living off the body of Christ until I moved out. My mom's cool, dude. He flopped out on the bed, a solid foot away from me. The impact bounced me. Outside, his mom yelled, Joelle, you seen my keys? Ignore her, she'll find them, Joelle said. I held up the magazine so the centerfold with the blonde twins bounced out. Lucky you, I gotta get out of there before my uncle finds it. Okay, that's easy. Wait for him to go out. He scratched the skin under his cast. Then where do I put it? I'm sleeping in Sam's room. You think he wouldn't like it? Not as much as he'd like to get me in trouble. Your brother is awesome. Do you remember the Lego truck? Of course I did. Joelle and I had tied a Lego truck to a ceiling fan and turned the fan on to see if the rope could hold it. It did, the truck spinning around the room like a brick. When we showed Sam, he put me in a Nelson and held me until the truck shattered against my jaw. The bricks scattered across the room, leaving the rope to whip through the air on its own. If Sam's gonna rat you out, bring it here. My mom doesn't care. She was still yelling about her keys in the background. Okay. I don't even get the pages sticky. You're gross. I threw a pillow at him. But get this, you remember the tall Indian girl from my science class? Joelle and I had never been in the same classes. He was dyslexic. That means he can't raid, I told anyone who would listen. And now he's going to an agri-science program at a public high school 2 towns over. The one who works at the hardware store, the hot one? Yeah, I've got a date with her. I don't know her name. Joelle sat up. How did you ask her out if you don't know her name? Uncle Polly basically did it for me. He's a fucking man. Joelle clapped once, then rubbed the cast around his wrist. What are you going to do? His mom barged into the room without knocking. Joelle, did you not hear me? Where the fuck are my keys? Mom, Braden has a date with a girl, but he doesn't know her name. How do you not? I don't have time for this. Congratulations, Bray. Be yourself and don't waste time playing stupid games, she said to me, then turned to her son. Joelle, I'm going to be late for work. Have you checked under your pillow? Joelle's mom slapped her thigh. Damn it. As quickly as she swept in, she was gone. But seriously, what are you going to do about finding out this girl's name? I was hoping you'd know. Joelle's mom slammed the front door, apparently with the keys, then peeled out of the driveway. Shit, Joelle said. You know anyone we could ask who won't tell her? MySpace. Joelle's family computer was in his grandparents' bedroom, which was alarmingly pink decor. The sheets on the bed, the curtains, the walls. His grandfather drank vodka all day, and his grandmother coped with pink. Grandpa, can we use the internet to look up a girl's name? Joelle's dial-up meant we had to take the phone off the hook and listen to a strange series of beeps and buzzes before we could get on. My family had broadband by then, but our one computer was in the kitchen and I had to wait for a turn. When it finally came up, someone would always be there looking over my shoulder. Uncle Polly knew about the date, obviously, but I'd prefer it if the rest of my family didn't. Sam had enough ammunition. Does she go to your school? Joel's grandpa barely moved his mouth when he talked, like a ventriloquist without a dummy. She did, I said. Why don't you use your yearbook? Joelle didn't have one, but my mother had insisted that we buy one every year. It was under my bed. 2 birds, 1 stone. Chapter 5, Away Message. Big Rican 787. Dial-up sucks, but not as much as your mom. Be here for the next 2 minutes. Neither car was in our driveway when I returned home. Hello, I called, head poking through the door before fully entering. The breakfast dishes that didn't fit in the dishwasher were upside down on the drying rack. Neither TV was on. Maybe I'd caught a lucky break. Joelle's shift started at 2, so I wouldn't be able to drop the magazine off until the next day. But still, I tiptoed up the stairs. With 6 people in the house, there was never telling when anyone might pop out. There was no one in the living room when I crested the top of the first set of stairs. All the doors were closed on the second flight. My mother and I were engaged in a silent battle over the doors. I liked them closed so no one could jump out and stab me without opening a door, but she wanted to let the light flow. I put my ear against the door to my room. There was no hum from the AC. Still, I turned the knob quietly, half expecting to see Uncle Polly sleeping on my bed. With the door cracked, the heavy stench of moss assaulted my nostrils. The same thing we'd smelled back at his apartment, only much stronger now. I'd been pushing the upstairs and the knife from the closet out of my head, whether I realized it or not. The smell was too weird to place. Mossy, yes, but mixed with something else. That other element was something rare, like a new form of knowledge, or maybe a very old one. But either way, I could still picture the boobs in the pages of that penthouse, and I wanted to see them again. I slipped through the door. The blinds, which I always kept closed, were open. The window overlooked the driveway, so I could see if anyone came home. I crept further, then I reached under Uncle Polly's shirt and lifted the desktop enough to slip a hand in. Instead of the glossy cover of a magazine, I touched something dry and husky, like discarded skin. I ripped my hand back. The desktop clapped shut. My eyes watered as I fought back a gag. I lifted the top again and knelt so I could see into the desk. The thing I touched was a book, and I could almost laugh at myself for being so stupid. I loved books. I grabbed it with my index finger and my thumb and held it up to get a better look. Touching it gave me the same cold panic as a cockroach crawling up my leg. The jacket was bound with something leathery, the color of coffee stains on clean paper. Nothing on the spine. I dropped it onto the desk. What is this? I whispered. I opened it to the red ribbon, saving Uncle Polly's spot. The text wasn't written in a Western alphabet, but there's a diagram on the page. In it, a person in a robe held up the knife like the one Paul Jr. had shown me, with the skulls on the handle and the blade pointing backwards. The robed individual stood above a naked woman tied on a marble slab. A monster loomed over them. Its limbs were thick, arms and legs the same size as the man in the diagram's torso. Little twirls all around made the monster's skin resemble moss despite the lack of color. The head wasn't a human oval but a half moon. In the absence of a neck, the head stuck out of the shoulders like an egg being swallowed by a snake. The eyes were big, nearly the size of its hand. It didn't have a mouth or a nose, at least that I could see in the diagram. Am I doing okay on time?
Mhm.
Okay. The next page was all gibberish, neither the straight, certain letters of Latin characters or the curly figures of the Cyrillic alphabet. This is how you should know it's Chernobyl, Matt. It's the Cyrillic alphabet reference.
Oh, it's right there.
Something I'd
Dang
never
it.
seen before. I needed to find a way to translate it because this couldn't be right. This couldn't be Uncle Polly's book. Not the same guy who'd gotten me a date, bought me an air conditioner, then taken me from ice cream all on the same day. Putting it maybe too simply, this book was evil. I wasn't allowed to watch horror movies, but I'd caught a few at Joelle's house, and the book was the kind of thing the drunk teenagers read aloud with perfectly accented Latin after fucking and accidentally summoned a demon. I leafed through the pages. More nonsense, nothing in Latin, and then another diagram. This one was a close up of the naked woman's chest with a line indicating where to stab through the ribs to hook the heart. He'd only packed one duffel bag to stay with us, and he decided to bring this. A car door slammed in the driveway. I couldn't hear what he was saying, but I recognized Uncle Polly's voice. I dropped down so he wouldn't see me in the window. Shit. Downstairs, a key turned in the lock. I returned the book and grabbed the penthouse. Hello? Uncle Polly said. Is there anybody home? Leslie shouted. I hid the magazine underneath my shirt. The yearbook. The TV turned on downstairs. I was safe, I thought. Then I heard the theme music for the Powerpuff Girls. Uncle Polly creaked on the first stairwell. I scrambled to the floor where I'd left the yearbook, but Uncle Polly's duffel bag was on top of it. I dug around beneath his bag until I found the yearbook. With it in hand, I rushed out into the hall. Uncle Polly cut me off at the landing. Hey, Braden, what do you got there? He backed me into his room, guiding me down onto the bed. I hugged the yearbook to my chest over the stiff magazine. When he sat down next to me, the mattress sunk. I had to focus to not slide into him. I know this used to be your room, Braden, but I can't have you going through my belongings. I nodded. I needed to get my yearbook. I don't know the name of the girl from the hardware store. He paused, as if in deep consideration. Where was it? Underneath your duffel bag. Nowhere near the creepy book in my desk. Bray, this can't be a thing. From now on, if you need to get something from this room, you're going to have to ask my permission. I'm going to have to come with you. I understand. He eyed me closely. Did you see anything else? I tried not to make a face. No. Nothing in my desk? No, didn't go near the desk. I hugged the yearbook tighter to the magazine hidden underneath my shirt. My sweat pasted the cover to my skin. Why all the sneaking if it was just for the yearbook? I had never been a good liar. I didn't think it was a big deal. I haven't been going through your things. Would you like it if I was digging around in your closet? No, it won't happen again. No, it won't. Tomorrow when I take you for your date, I'm going to buy a lock for this door. I'm going to have the only key. That's a good idea. I traced the pattern of the hardwood floor with my eyes. What is it you're not telling me? I ran restaurants for 20 years. Did you know how many waitresses have tried to lie to me? They were trying to make it on Broadway, and they were better at acting than you. I compromised. Better to lose the magazine than to acknowledge the book. The cover of my penthouse squelched as I let it peel off my chest. Uncle Polly examined it. This was going to be bad. Sam would sing songs about me masturbating. Leslie would call me a pervert. Dad would tell me how disappointed he was. Mom would be the worst. Uncle Polly chortled. This is what all that sneaking was about? Where was this baby hidden? He held the magazine open by the back cover. The centerfold bounced out. He nodded appreciatively. It was tucked in the cover of the yearbook. Clever. His focus remained on the centerfold spread legs. You're not going to tell my mom, are you? I asked. He closed the magazine. How about this? I get the lock. I don't tell anybody. And you promise that you're not going to sneak into this room again. Deal. He handed me the penthouse. Forget about the pictures. Read the letters section. You can learn some good shit. That's it. Thank you.
Yay.
We had some people reliving their past. Although Kirsten had a really key comment, Jehovah's Titty. Yeah. Some people shared their AOL chat names, like Trumpet with Soul 16. Mine was something like Snow Mermaid
man, I love that.
Angel. And then Matt's was Suffy Nose because that explains a lot of the spelling, I guess.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's what
Were
spell
you
check
like
is
a
for.
rabid cokehead at that time? Why sucky nose?
No. I just misspelled. I had a stuffy nose and we were bowling and I misspelled it. And they were like, well, that's it. I was with
Yeah, that's you
friends.
now. Yeah.
And so I just used it.
Yeah. Absolutely great reading. So let's do a
Thank you.
second giveaway and then we'll do our second reading. So everyone hit me with drums. This is for a signed copy of And Out Come the Toys, and we're about to hear a reading from it. So hit me with those drums or I'm not doing this. Thank you, Kirsten.
To do it.
Do it. I demand it.
This is my show.
Yeah. Okay, the wheel's
I'm not near the
going.
computer. I can't really reach.
This is my drums.
Those are very good drums. You should be part of that jazz class.
Thank you. And our winner is Sam Logan.
You'll get a copy of
Congrats,
this.
Sam. Yeah, signed and everything.
Yeah, I promise I'll spell my name right. So,
Maybe.
maybe.
Or you'll
Possibly.
just put Suffy Nose in there.
Yeah, I'll just put Suffy Nose in there for fun.
I hope you
Okay.
sign all the books Suffy Nose
Yeah,
from now
Suffy
on.
Nose.
Honestly.
If you know, you know.
No more Matt.
No, that
Yeah.
was my
Pen name is
email
Stuffy
for
Nose.
like years. You
My
remember
God.
Hotmail? I had a Hotmail Stuffy Nose.
Wait, I don't want to derail this. Like, did you apply for any jobs with Stuffy Nose at AOL.com?
No, I
I just
figured
want to know.
I figured it out after a while. I was like, oh, this one. No wonder I'm not getting hired.
Yeah.
I need a new email. But
All right.
yeah,
Matt, are you ready to read?
I think so. We'll make this
Okay.
happen.
Are you reading from the beginning or kind of in the middle?
No, yeah. It kind of in the middle. I was going back and forth. I don't want to spoil much, but I think this is close enough to the beginning to cover it. This is a kind of starting in the middle of a chapter, chapter 5, and just the real quick setup for this is there are five, I don't know, they're not quite teens, almost college age kids are in the factory. They made it in. They made it into the toy room, which if you've seen Willy Wonka, you can imagine that room. It's just now with toys. And there's the little toy critter guys like that. And the walls are surrounded by giant like play, like in the 80s. I mean, I guess they probably have in the 90s too, but like He-Man's castle and all of that stuff. The walls are all of those, but giant
Polly
size.
Pocket.
Polly Pocket, though, like
Yeah.
these are like, well, yeah, Polly Pocket, but not Polly Pocket because I can't use that name.
Legally distinct.
Legally distinct, not
Molly Mocket.
Molly Pocket. I should have used that part two. Um, so anyway, they're trying to find a way out of this toy room. There's a giant gross pond, like your chocolate river, but gross instead of chocolate. Though that could be gross for some people too. So anyway, that's where we're set up. And I think I'll just finish off this chapter.
Okay. Hit us with
Okay,
it.
let's do it. All right. Justin ambled to a rocky castle and spotted Michelle bent over the water. Hey, Michelle, what are you doing there? He asked, picturing what might be in the disgusting pond. She stuck her hand in. There's something in here. Maybe it's a button. I wouldn't put my hand in there. Who knows what shit is in there? Cam said as she continued the kick. She's kicking a door. I can almost touch it. Near the middle of the pond, a circle of bubbles broke the surface. The hairs on Justin's neck went rigid. He stepped toward her, his eyes on the churning water sliding closer to Michelle. Get your hand out of. A jet of water exploded straight up. An actual size version of one of Gavin the Warrior's terrible monsters towered over them, almost touching the ceiling. Stubby legs connected to each segment of the monster's red and black centipede-like body wiggled. Its joints clicked with every move. Yeah, centipede. Dirty pond water dripped off its dull skin. It curled its body into an S shape. Cracks in its shell revealed machinery in a squirming blue mass. At the top sat a round head covered in a white and red circular mask, large pincers near a long thin mouth clacking together. The stench of burning oil and plastic billowed around its frame. It's just some animatronic meant to scare the kids, Justin prayed. Maybe Michelle had set off some trigger, yet the intelligent glow in its empty eye sockets withered those hopes. Michelle, back away from the water, Cam whispered. Give me your hand. The centipede swayed as it scanned the shore. Cam inched to Michelle from one side, Justin from the other. Before they could grab her, the monster struck. Air whistled, machinery buzzed, and Michelle sucked in a breath. The centipede scooped her up in its pincers and whipped its head into the air. She grunted as the monster shook her. Her limbs waved as if they had no bones, even though sickening cracks promised otherwise. Blood splattered the fake grass and sand. Something crunched and squished. Red drool dripped out of her mouth as she bit down hard enough to splinter her teeth. Her eyes bulged. A dark liquid leaked from her ears. The creature's legs twitched and scratched at the emptiness. In a blink, it coiled its body and sunk into the murky pond, the top half of Michelle sticking out. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, Cam said. Michelle waved and screamed, blood bubbling out of her lips as the centipede whipped her around the frothing water, brown and red mixing together. Whenever she passed, Justin willed his body to reach out, the terror radiating out of her red-rimmed eyes, the vomit coating her chin and jacket, cursed him for doing nothing. Her horrible whimpering and screams stabbed his heart. Before he could figure out what to do, it dragged her to the center and they went under. An uneasy silence settled over the room. For a moment, Justin tried convincing himself a monster hadn't murdered his friend. What the actual fuck, Vince said, his voice shaking. Cam rushed to the water's edge. The brown pond obscured any sight of the centipede. Eddies of crimson danced across the surface. Justin stared, only finding the loss of his friend, the terror of what he'd caused. Aaron raced over, shock enlarging his eyes. Cam sobbed. Someone's got to go get her, Cam said. Fuck that. We gotta get the hell out of here, Aaron said as he wiped his nose. I loved her too, but that fucking thing might come back, and well, she's probably. No, she can't be dead. She's alive. She's probably just below the surface. Her voice cracked between moans. She marched into the water as she struggled to take her hoodie off. We can't leave her in there when we are so close. I bet I can get to her. I just need to go a little further. Justin grabbed her and pulled her into him. Memories of Michelle giving him half her lunch every day at school flooded his thoughts. He squeezed Cam before turning her to face him. Tears collected in her eyes. This wasn't supposed to happen. They were supposed to find some cool stuff and remember all the good times they had. No one was supposed to die. Cam, we can't go in there. What if it attacks you too? She strained against him, pushing toward the water. He steeled his body and felt the fight leave her. Cam yelled, God damn it! Aaron and Vince, surprising all of them, comforted Cam. She thought it was so cool I was going on the road with Fishbone. It's a real band. Told me I was lucky to get to be a part of the scene like that. Aaron rubbed his nose as he sniffed. Vince chuckled. Hell, she could go shot for shot with. Aaron's right. Let's get the fuck out of here. God damn it, fuck, Cam said as she turned away from the pond. I'm sorry, children. Fuck yeah, sorry, Justin, but no way I'm going to hang around with that damn thing in there. Aaron jogged up a hill, whirled toward them, and waited. The words crushed Justin's hopes, even if he knew it was the truth. They truly were never going to come back, especially now. Justin's shoulders sagged, his voice just a whisper, Yeah, we can't stay here. Cam hustled away. Fucking shit, Vince glared at them. Cam stopped. She whipped around, her face red, her teeth bared. What? What do you want to say? Michelle fucking died, Vince, you fucking asshole. Hey, maybe we shouldn't argue next to the murder pond, Aaron yelled from the hill. Vince began to speak, but Justin put his hand up. Dude, we can't stay. Cam left them, her path taking her into the fake trees. She passed Aaron without stopping. He shook his head as he glanced at Justin and Vince. He pointed a thumb in the direction she went and mouthed, Wrong direction. With a shrug, Aaron ran to the left. She was my friend too, but I mean, Vince said as he found something interesting on the ground. Wisps of blood floated on the dirty pond. A few bubbles popped along its surface. Anger bubbled through Justin before it cooled into shame. Vince wanted to stay, wanted to keep pushing through, and he agreed with him. But there's no way they could stay, was there? Damn, man, I don't know, he sighed, then shambled after Cam and Aaron. We should go. Vince snorted before stomping in the opposite direction.
Also, if any 3-year-olds get a vocabulary after this episode or this show, I am
That's
not
where she learned
responsible
every
for
swear
it.
word.
I'm sorry, yeah, there's quite a few
You've never
swears.
heard me swear, not about anything, especially not while driving down I-35. Never
I
heard a
did
swear
look
word
up.
before.
I think there's like over 60 fucks in this book. So, for a 100-page book, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Nice saturation, honestly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If you repeat it enough, right? It's like the rules of
Yeah.
rules of comedy.
Betsy says nothing she hasn't heard already. Fair.
Again, I apologize.
Over 60 fucks. I can't wait to read about toys killing teens. Yeah.
Yeah, it just gets better.
That's what the youth get, you know what I mean?
Exactly. It's a whole, you gotta learn. I don't know. There was a lesson, I'm sure, in Willy Wonka, but there's really not a lesson in here. So
Yeah.
Was there? I think the lesson in Willy Wonka, he's a vindictive rich guy.
Yeah. And
It's
yes.
like Saw for
And
kids.
children shouldn't be greedy, I
Yeah.
guess.
And
Yeah.
greedy and yeah, I think greedy was the main
But
one.
would you not argue that turning a child who's greedy into a giant blueberry until he explodes is that not worse than being greedy?
Yeah. And Grandpa Joe was a deadbeat.
It
Absolutely.
was totally a deadbeat.
Yeah. Warned us about the evils of Grandpa Joe always.
Exactly. Those grandpas, man.
Okay. Are we ready for the final giveaway? The big
Think so.
giveaway. So this is for a signed copy of both books. So you get a signed copy of Say Uncle and a signed copy of And Out Come the Toys. Yep. Drums.
Drums.
I think Ryan's frozen.
Yeah, I think we lost him.
Ryan's just gone. Okay, I'm hitting my wheel. Drums. Drums look like this or something. Oh,
Yeah,
I
like
think
that.
he's
You
coming
got
back.
it.
He's
You got
coming
it.
back. He's coming back. All right. Our winner is Francis Meredith.
Wow.
Congrats. So again, after this event, I'll reach out via email and put you in touch with the authors, and then they can get your shipping and send you these signed copies of these wonderful books. Ryan, you're back. Good, good.
I'm back.
It's not.
It's
Yeah.
funny because I can hear the TV downstairs and it's working fine downstairs. It's just me.
That's really funny.
All right. So how about we just do a couple minutes for questions? I know we're slightly over time. Thank you everyone for being patient and sticking with it. I think
Yeah,
it was fun,
thank you.
you
I think
know.
so.
I'll start off the question period. I always ask this question. So what is your most embarrassing memory? Just kidding. What are you working on now, and do you have anything else coming out besides these wonderful books?
Yeah. Ryan, did you want to go first?
I think Matt and I. Do you have a story in Gabagool too?
I do not know.
Oh shit! Ah,
Wow,
I
watch
thought
your
you did.
language.
My
You're
bad.
children watching.
Yeah, there's kids.
I have a story coming out in Gabagool and another story coming out in another by that press that just got we're allowed to announce now called Night Hike. That's my story. I forget the title of the anthology.
Nice.
This has been a horrible answer. Please, Matt, take over.
Okay, Matt.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. Short story wise, I have something coming out in Archive of the Odd. I think that's October. Yep. That's I wrote a pamphlet for what you should do if you witness a clown funeral, and
Nice.
yeah, so it's fun. It's not as fun as it sounds. And then I am currently putting out a probably. I think it'll come out next year, early next year, the Dogman Fudge incident, and this is
Oh, I love that one.
yeah, yes you did. So yeah, Max is editing it. It's not coming through Goulish, but they're editing it for me.
Nice.
So this is my it's a two-parter. The first part is it's we have lots of ways to kill wolfmen, but nobody really or the wolf man, but no one talks about chocolate being poisonous for dogs. And since we've had a million wolf man stuff out, I decided to do dog man. Yes, cryptid, Michigan cryptid. I had to do it. It's my favorite. So that's the first part, killing the dog man with chocolate. And the second part is John Wick. I all those dumb action movies entertain me, and so I was like, what if we did mix the two? But instead of guns, it's squirt guns that are full of chocolate. So
Nice.
yes,
Messy.
yeah, but it's pretty
Yeah.
sweet.
And are you guys working on any writing projects now?
Yes.
Go on.
Uh, did you want to do this? All right, I'll go first. I'm working
You go first,
on
man.
I tentative title is Spooky Happenings at Willow Oaks Mall, and it is about a janitor working at a mall like maybe a year after 9/11, and there is spooky happenings at the mall. Yes, Zach, you read that one. So yeah, that one's almost on submission. I'm editing it now. I'm hoping in May it'll be out for submission. So
Nice. Ryan?
I have a Patreon, which any of you want a free month, you can get at this link.
Oh,
Where I
nice. Thank
do
you.
weird goofball stories that are they're more fun and less serious than my longer stuff. So I'm working on that constantly, and I finished an audiobook of this. We're in the
Ooh,
process of uploading it. So if you liked me reading it, imagine me doing that for 6 hours a day and
hell
complaining to the
yeah.
audio engineer how much my voice hurts for 6 hours every day. Um, I didn't complain the whole time. I complained for like 3 of the 6 hours we were recording.
Okay.
Um,
Only
but the
50%.
audiobook
Nice.
coming out
Yeah.
only 50%. I was paying him a lot of money for that time.
Yeah.
I'm working on some other longer projects, but I'm always like paranoid about talking about the longer projects until they're like there's
I
ink
get
on
that.
paper
Yeah.
or I've decided to self-publish.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, since we're a little over, we'll wrap up. No one hit us with any questions, so we'll say it's good. I included the link, so if you're not one of our lucky winners, consider pre-ordering it. Pre-ordering actually does help the algorithm kind of boost them, so it's actually really nice if you pre-order it. It helps the author out. And if you can and you really enjoyed the books, or if you didn't, I mean, totally up to you, leave a review. Goodreads, Amazon, that's also really helpful. That helps boost the book. And so, if you enjoyed these authors, make sure to follow them. I added their website, so you'll get all their socials through that. Follow them on socials, leave them some nice reviews. Authors are always desperate for praise. We're hungry for
Please.
it. Yeah, please do it. And
We
thank
don't
you.
get money.
Yeah,
We don't want money.
yeah,
We
We
just
it's
don't
want
get
what we
praise.
money. All we
eat.
get is the praise.
Yeah,
Yes.
so make sure to praise them on social media or leave them reviews. It really means a lot. And also, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This has been really fun. I know it's like an Easter weekend thing, but it's always really fun to see people come out and support the authors. And thank you both for letting me host your party.
Thank you. This was
Thank you for
amazing.
hosting. This was fun, and thank you everyone for coming. I hope you all had fun.
Yes.
I had a blast.
Yeah. Your
Hopefully I
mom's gonna
didn't.
call you, or you're gonna be grounded after this.
Yeah, you're gonna be in
I'm
trouble.
gonna be grounded.
Yeah, you're grounded. Yeah, well, thank you everyone. And until next time, yeah, be sure to follow the authors, pick up copies of the books if you didn't win a copy. I'm sure if you want a signed copy, if you email one of the authors, you could probably work something out too.
Yeah, that'd be pretty easy.
Yeah, but we love you guys.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. This was amazing.